Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is such a nice day out here today. It's still overcast. It's been overcast for like the past week. I feel like I haven't seen the sun at all, but you can see I'm squinting. It's starting to get a little bright and I'm hoping this will all burn off in just an hour or two. We'll see. So I'm in the front garden today. I have quite a day planned. I'm in the front garden because I'm enjoying myself so much up here. I'm not neglecting the back garden, but it's just so nice to be working here. And especially it's really nice to have wood chips so that I'm not kneeling on compost and getting myself dirty like immediately as soon as I get in the garden. So it's really nice. What I did over the past week, I've kind of been making a to-do list in my head of things that I want to get done, like kind of, I guess I'll say finishing work on this garden, and I made a little bit of a list. So here's my to-do list for the orchard today. The first thing I want to do, I talked to you all about this a little bit in yesterday's video, but I want to cut off all these PVC pipes that are all around the garden. So you can see there's one over there by my pomegranate tree. There is one over by my lime tree. I don't think there's one by the fig tree. No, I don't see one by the fig tree. There's one here that we already cut off a little bit, but I'm gonna go back in, cut it down further, and then there's one over there. And the purpose of these, well, the supposed purpose of these is a while ago, it used to be thought that that was a way to get more air and more water to actually the roots of the tree. And it's been debunked. It's been shown not to work. So I don't feel bad at all for taking them out. I think that they're a major eyesore and I'll be really excited to just get them out of here. Number 2 on my list is paint tree trunks. So you can see I have the white paint on all my fruit tree trunks and, well, not my pomegranate, but the lime, the fig, and both of the oranges, and actually I think the apricot over there. The purpose of this is it's a very common thing here in California and any other hot area. I know some people have said they've never seen this done, and then some people say, like me, like this is completely normal. I see this all the time. This is probably the thing I get questioned about the most. Why do you have white paint on your trees? And it's basically sunscreen for the trees. Our sun is so hot here that like you would put sunscreen on your nose, like white sunscreen on your nose. We put sunscreen on tree trunks to protect them from basically sunburn. So, you know, it's usually white. It's basically just latex paint. However, I was at Van Winden's. This is all my tools for today. I was at Van Winden's and I was talking to Eileen and she told me that there's such thing as brown paint, Go Natural Paint Brown Tree Trunk Protection, which is really interesting. So I don't think this would work as well as the white because of course the white reflects the sun, but you know what? These trees are very established and I'm not that worried about them. So again, I feel comfortable using the brown paint. So that's the other thing I want to do today is I want to paint all these tree trunks brown and see how that looks. I think it'll be really pretty. Number 3 and 4 on my list are fertilized perennials and fertilized roses. I am trying the tones this year, rose tone, plant tone. I just want to see how they, like, you know, there's so much talk about them and everyone talks about how great they are. So I'm trying out these this year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fertilize all my perennials with plant tone. Like for instance, I know I need my star jasmine fertilized so badly. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to fertilize any perennial that I have kind of going on in this orchard. And so that's going to take me a while. I'm just going to use plant tone on those. But then when it comes to the roses, I'm going to use the Van Winden's Secret Mix or the Gary's Secret Mix, who is from Van Winden's. And that is a mix between rose food, alfalfa meal, and something called sulfo mag. And so what you do is you do 1 cup of alfalfa meal, 2 tablespoons of sulfo mag, and then a half a cup of a really good rose fertilizer. And you put that on your roses and it's supposed to be amazing. And you have to wait until they have 3 to 6 inches of growth, which is usually in March. And you can see I planted these as bare roots. And you can see my growth is about 3 to 6 inches. So they're ready to be fertilized. I did this last year. I used this secret mix last year on my Eden climbing roses, and they, by May, oh my goodness, they were incredible. So I'm planning to do that. Then, I hope this isn't boring for you guys. It's kind of a long list. I probably should have just did 5 things. But number 5, fertilized pink cashmere, Superbena. And that might look weird that that's on my list, but look what I noticed. I've got some blooms. I'm so excited. So these 3 white pots I had brought with me from my last house, and they were full of Superbena pink cashmere last year. This is a new plant for this year. It's a new annual from Proven Winners, and I was lucky enough to be able to try it, like trial it out last year. I loved it. I pushed so hard for it to be annual of the year, and it didn't make it, darn it, but that's okay. That's fine. We'll keep the secret to ourselves. But anyway, I just left the Superbenas in these white pots. I've just left them over the winter. I haven't cut them back. I haven't done anything to them, and they're starting to bloom a little bit, and I haven't fertilized them at all. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and fertilize a little bit with my annuals fertilizer from Proven Winners and see if I can get some more blooms out of them. Now, my plan is for these is I am gonna take them out. I'm probably gonna transplant them, but I am gonna take them out because I have other plans for other annuals to go in here. But I don't think I'm gonna get those annuals until March, even beginning of April maybe. So I'll at least have a couple weeks maybe of pink cashmere blooms, which I will be a very happy girl if they start blooming for me. Items number 6 and 7 are Transplant Miss Molly and Transplant Flavorette. By the way, I apologize about my handwriting. I know how terrible it is. My girls make fun of me all the time. I don't have time to make it look pretty. So those 2 roses, the butterfly bush, Miss Molly butterfly bush, which is right here, and then the Flavorette honey apricot rose is right here. And last year I planted these in the ground just in an attempt just to get them in the ground, and I didn't really have good plans of what I was going to do. Now I've decided that I'm going to not touch the center island this year. I'm just not going to touch it. I'm not even going to irrigate it, honestly. You can kind of see I've cut my irrigation and kind of stopped it. So I need to move all these plants. Basically, I need to transplant them because I don't want to have to worry about watering them this year. So I'm going to dig up Miss Molly, and I'm going to dig up Flavorette honey apricot, and I'm going to put them, I haven't decided where, but I'm going to put them somewhere in the orchard so that I can hook them up on drip irrigation. And then the other thing I need to do, which I am so late doing this, is I have to prune the lavender. So this is Spanish lavender. It's doing great. This one was actually dying because it was underneath a plum tree that used to be right here, and it didn't get anywhere near enough sun that it needed. Once we took out those plum trees, this thing has it's just gone crazy. This one I expected to die because look at what's going on there. There are ground squirrels. I don't know if they're still living there, but they were, and I honestly thought it was going to die, and it's totally fine. So I never pruned the old lavender back. I should have, but I didn't. And now there's new little buds, what do you call it, like flower stalks, flower spikes. There's new blooms on, ready to come out. So I just want to come around and I just want to cut all the old ones off, better late than never. And these lavender, they're really established. They're awesome. But lavender doesn't last that long. Lavender only lasts a couple years. So it's like, do I want to transplant them? Because eventually I will be taking out this raised bed right here. Again, I don't think I'm going to do it this year, so maybe I'll just leave the lavender here and not worry about it. But anyway, transplanting the lavender is number 8. Number 9 and 10 is over here. I want to finish this patio area. The guys did this. That's why I didn't get it filmed. But they left this because we didn't know how we were going to kind of end it right here. And so I thought, okay, I'll put a piece of wood, but that doesn't look very good. And then with the piece of wood there, it doesn't fit another one of these square pavers, and these square pavers are concrete, so they're not really good to cut. So I really don't want to cut them. But if I take the wood piece out, I think I can fit another row of the diamonds in there, and I think that that's what I'm going to try and do today. And then I can put the rest of the 3/8 inch decomposed granite in. So that's something I want to do. And then finally, number 10, I don't know if I'm going to get to it today because again, this is a huge list. I want to try some gravel glue. I bought some gravel glue. It's inside. I forgot to bring it out. But I want to try it on here because you can see the gravel kind of gets kicked up. I don't really mind that. Like, it doesn't bother me that much, but I think it will look a lot neater. So I am going to try the gravel glue here. I'm not as worried about it in the greenhouse because that has a lot less traffic, but I figure here there's going to be we're going to be walking over this all the time. So I want to try the gravel glue. We'll see if I can get to that. See, it's a big list. There's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to try and get it all done today. Even if I can get half of this stuff done today, I will be happy, and I can finish the rest tomorrow or another day. But I just kind of wanted to, like, I had it all in my mind, and I just wanted to get it down on a piece of paper so that hopefully I can get this finishing stuff done. It's really exciting. So I'm going to get started. Let's get started with the first thing, which is cutting back all those PVC pipes. Okay, all done with item number 2. Okay, I only got a little bit of paint on me. So finished painting the tree trunks. That took me a while. It took me about an hour. At first, when I was painting these, I was a little skeptical. The brown color is actually a lot lighter than I thought it would be. And so I was kind of like, why am I bothering even doing this? But now that it's up and I see it, it does look better than the white. And I'm kind of happy it's lighter because then I know that the tree trunks are going to get the like the sunscreen that they need. So I think it looks good. I think it looks cleaner at least. So I got these 2 orange trees done. They were definitely the biggest because they're so multi-trunk. Then I got the fig tree done. That was pretty straightforward. And then I was running out of paint. I was getting really worried about it. So I went over to the apricot tree over there in the long border, made sure I painted that because that one doesn't have as much leaf color. And I learned that apricots need a lot of sun protection from Lance. He is the fruit tree guy that kind of helped me and taught me all about pruning, and I'm still super nervous about it, so that's okay. He tried, and I just have to practice. I really just have to get in here and practice. Like the fig, I didn't prune the fig this year, and I feel like I should have, but I wasn't gonna get on a ladder, so it's okay. So I was running out of paint, and I finished up at the lime tree, and I just did a thin coat with the paint that I had left. So that is done. Let's move on to the next thing. And the next thing, actually the next 2 things I want to do is fertilize perennials, and then I'm going to use that magic mix and fertilize my roses. I'm gonna fertilize with the plant tone is this green globe artichoke right here. I planted this off camera. I didn't film this. I did it kind of late in the evening along with the cow lilies that I have over there underneath my orange trees. So I know artichokes like a lot of fertilizer, so I'm gonna be very generous. And then I still do have those cardoon seeds that I got from Raphael at Park Winters, and I am planning to sow those hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. Now that I said it, I might do it. Now that I've told you all I've done it, I'm gonna do it. So those, once those start growing, they don't recommend direct sowing those. Once those start growing and I can transplant them, I'm planning to put them kind of all along here. I think it'll look really pretty. Okay, on to rose fertilizer. Again, I'm doing the Van Winden's Magic Mix. I'll put the recipe on the screen right now. I'm not gonna be exact with this. So first off, it's alfalfa meal. You wanna have the most of that. And then about half as much of the alfalfa meal, you wanna have your rose fertilizer. Okay, then for every half cup of the rose fertilizer, you wanna do 2 tablespoons of the Sol Pomag. Now, of course, that's just a guesstimate, but I think that's that's pretty close. So you can see there it all is. Then I'm just gonna mix it all together. And then I'll fertilize my roses just the same way that I did with everything else. Kind of put it around the base and then scratch it in, and then I'm gonna water everything in. All right, so perennials are fertilized, roses are fertilized, Super Bean of Pink Cashmere is fertilized, and now I'm going through and I am watering everything in really, really well so that all those goodies that I just put on it can soak in to where the plant's roots are. And then as I'm sitting here and I'm using my 82-foot long hose link, I wanted to remind you all that the contest is still open. The contest, if you haven't heard about it, holy moly, it's amazing. It's worth over $1,500. Includes you could win a hose link, you could win all these accessories, a $250 Proven Winners gift card, tons of stuff. So you go to hoselink.com/win to enter, and that's until March 11th. So I just want to remind everybody of that. One of the accessories that's included are these secateurs, these pruners, and hot pink. I mean, come on guys, hot pink pruners. Smart hose link. They have other colors for those of you who are not pink fans, but that's one of the prizes that you can win. And then there's also solar lights, like bollard lights that you can put around your garden. And then there's also patio lights that are solar lights. I have those, and I am I'm going to put them on my olive trees. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay, and here's why you should enter that contest. Ta-da! Look at my mess here. I'm using all of it though. It's making it so I don't have to keep walking back to the metal workshop. Okay, let's come here. Pink cashmere is done. Now I'm on to transplanting Miss Molly and Flavorette. So again, those are over there in the center island, and I'm gonna move them somewhere around here. I'm not really sure yet. I'll find a spot. Speaking of hose link, look what I just got delivered. So this is not for me. This is for a project that I'm doing at my girls' school. I'm so excited about it, but that's not till next month. But I just thought it was funny. I was just talking about them and then I got that delivered. Okay, so I transplanted Miss Molly and I transplanted Flavorette. And I'm gonna have to call it. I'm so close. I'm so close to done. But my phone has 4% battery left. So I always do that. I've noticed. I consistently think I can do way more in a day than I actually can. And I should learn from that, but I don't. So let me show you everything that I did get done today. So the first thing I did, you can't even see anymore, and that is because I cut off these PVC pipes from all the trees. I am happy about that. I did not need them. Over there in that one, it was just full of water. The whole pipe was full of water, and that can't be good. I mean, I don't think that that can be good. So I tried to fill it with as much soil as I could, but that's probably why it's been debunked. So I got all of those out of the ground. I don't think I have any more, but I always say that and then I find another one. And then the second thing I did was, of course, painted all the trunks. I really do think it looks good. Now that it has dried, it looks a lot better. It almost dried a little bit darker, and I think it made a big difference. Right? Like, look at that. You can't even really tell that the trunk's painted. I mean, I guess you can. It's better than white, I would have to say. So then I got all my perennials up here, at least in the front garden. I haven't touched the back garden yet, but in the front garden, all the perennials are fertilized with plant tone, and I'm really glad I did that because everything's starting to break dormancy. Now that I've actually gotten close to it, I've noticed there's growth on everything. So it was definitely time to fertilize. Ooh, I forgot to pick that up. I gotta pick that up. Then I put the Van Winden's Magic Mix, or otherwise known as Gary's Magic Mix, on all of my roses, so those are happy. Oh, my neighbor is weed whacking. You guys will probably hear that in the background. I do have my hose on a slow drip on to my lavender twist redbud just to make sure it's getting plenty of water. So then after I fertilized all of my roses in the front garden, again, I haven't done the back garden yet, I did fertilize my Superbena pink cashmere up here with the hope that they will bloom a little bit more. This one's not blooming at all, but this one looks good. It's got a couple blooms on it. And then That one's looking pretty good too. So that'll be fun to have a couple blooms before I transplant this out into somewhere else and put the annuals that I am planning to put in here for the rest of the season. Okay, then after I did that, I transplanted Miss Molly, which I put over here. And I think that'll be really pretty over there with the maroon flowers. They're so pretty. Like if you see them, they're like the brightest pink. They're really, really beautiful. And again, this is my best for the West garden. So everything in this garden needs to be West climate appropriate, and Buddleia fits the bill 100%. So does a rose. And so I transplanted this flavorette honey apricot rose from the center island over to right here, which I think will be really pretty with the calla lilies in the background. The reason why this plant is so amazing, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, is it's edible. So basically you can take the entire bloom, you can sprinkle it on a salad, you can candy the rose petals, you can put them on cookies, and they actually do taste good. They taste like honey. So that was a plant that I wanted front and center. There's a new one coming out this year. It's something pear, I want to say, that I want in my garden so badly. So the only things that I didn't get done today, which I do think is pretty good, I'm proud of myself, is I didn't finish off this patio area, which is it's just something that I know, like I really want to get it done, but it always seems to be at the end of my to-do list just because I'm just kind of nervous about finishing it off. And also I'm just waiting for the guys to kind of finish this patio off, or not patio, walkway off as well. I think I'm going to rent the compactor next Monday if the weather works well. So hopefully that will get done. And then because I didn't finish this, I didn't spray the mulch glue, which I'm really interested to see how it works. I don't have high hopes for it, but you know, I just kind of want to see how it does. Okay, I literally have 2% left on my phone battery. I really need to get one of those external batteries because let's see, I came out here at 8:30 and it's a little after 2 right now. So what's that, 5.5 hours? So yeah, my poor phone. And it's been recording the whole time. And yes, I always do record on my phone because it's easier and I think it's good quality and that's just how I do it. So that's okay, 5.5 hours. This is good. Anyway, I should stop talking because I'm going to lose it. I hope you all enjoyed this and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.